up, you guys? Gold Pony here today in the new 2019 Ford Escape, courtesy of Bob Ruth Ford in Dillsburg, PA. Today we are going to be sticking with the Ford family, and I will be, of course, going over everything about this one. So, as always, let's start with pricing. And so, as expected, there will be several different trim levels available for the 2019 Escape. First one being the S, that is going to start at $24,105. Then you have the SE for $26,500. That is the one we have today. SEL is going to start at $28,445. And lastly, the Titanium for $32,620. But so then, to go along with all of those trim levels, you can imagine there are several different engine options as well. For example, that S trim level is going to come with a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated inline 4-cylinder engine that's going to put out 168 horsepower, 170 pound-feet of torque. Power is going to be sent to the front wheels on that one through a 6-speed automatic transmission, giving you MPG numbers at 21 in the city, 29 on the highway. But then the second engine setup, and this one is going to come with the SE and SEL trim levels. This one is going to be a 1.5 liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine, 179 horsepower, 177 pound-feet of torque. For this one, you can get power sent to the front wheels or all wheels through Ford's intelligent 4-wheel drive system. Power sent to the ground through a 6-speed automatic, giving you MPG numbers at 23 city, 30 highway for the front-wheel drive, 22 city, 28 highway for the 4-wheel drive. But so then the last engine setup is going to belong to the Titanium trim level, and that one is going to be a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine, 245 horsepower, 275 pound-feet of torque, sent to the front wheels or all wheels, again through the intelligent 4-wheel drive system. And that power again sent to the ground through a 6-speed automatic, giving you MPG numbers at 21 in the city, 27 on the highway. But so now, since we have covered the plethora of different engine options and trim levels, I did want to mention we do have the 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder today. So I think it is about time. Let's do a quick little acceleration test here and see how quickly we can get this one here up to speed. It's not too bad. You shouldn't have any issues merging onto the highway or anything like that. Not as quick as my 2019 Mustang, but this engine setup does come with ample enough power to merge if you needed to. But so then, although acceleration is fun, braking is equally important, and so every single trim level of the 2019 Escape will come with 4-wheel disc brakes, as well as an electronic parking brake actually located directly behind the shifter there. And since there is no one behind us here when it comes to the braking feel, definitely no issues there. Immediately brings you to a quick stop, so that is definitely nice. And when it comes to the handling and suspension on this one, up front you will find an independent McPherson strut front suspension with a stabilizer bar and twin tube gas pressurized shock absorbers. In the back, an independent rear suspension, again a stabilizer bar and gas pressurized shocks. And when it comes to the steering feel, I've had no issues in my short test drive today. Not as heavy of a steering feel as I would prefer, but definitely as expected for an SUV. And when it comes to cabin noise, again, not too bad. It's pretty on par for the course, so to speak. It is a little bit windier today, so I'm getting a little bit of that wind noise, but again, it's not too bad. And when it comes to visibility, absolutely no issues there. I can see perfectly fine out the back, and because of its shape, honestly, compared to other SUVs in the segment, I would say when it comes to visibility, this one is definitely above average comparing some of its competition that I've reviewed, at least. But enough with the driving dynamics, you guys. Let's check out the exterior of this 2019 Ford Escape. And so let me first start by saying, when it comes to the exterior of the 2019 Escape, there will be no changes for this year, but I am still going to go over the exterior anyways. Up front, that front bumper actually will differ depending on the trim level that you go with. For instance, if you go with the S trim level, you're going to find a black front bumper. If you go with the SE trim level and up, you're going to find a chrome front bumper up there. And then looking to the sides, there is LED signature lighting for the SEL and Titanium trim levels. And just below all of that, fog lights will come standard on the SE trim level and up. But then make your way to the side on this one. Black door handles and side mirrors will come with the S. However, if you go with the SE trim level and up, that will give you body colored side door handles and side mirrors. And if you went all the way up to the Titanium trim level, you will find integrated turn signals within those side mirrors. And looking up, black roof rails will come with the SEL trim level and up, rear privacy glass with the SE trim level and up. That's what you're looking at right now. And looking down at the wheel setup, the S trim level is going to give you 17-inch steel wheels with covers. SE and SEL trims are going to give you 17-inch aluminum alloy wheels, and that titanium trim level is going to give you 19-inch aluminum alloy wheels. But then make your way to the back on the Escape. You will find a rear spoiler with an integrated brake light for every single trim level. Just below that, a rear window wiper, and just below all of that, you will find an aluminum rear bumper application for the SE trim level and up. And to the sides, there are dual exhaust outlets with chrome tips, so you guys know what I have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. But now, since we are around back, let me show you guys how to open the rear hatch, and let's make our way to the interior where the changes actually happen for the 2019 Escape. To open that rear hatch, there will be a manual liftgate with the S and SE trim levels. You will get a power liftgate if you go with the SEL or titanium trim levels. But once opened up, cargo capacity is going to come in at 34 cubic feet. If that was not enough space for you, those second row seats do fold down, bumping the cubic feetness up to 68 cubic feet. And I did want to also mention, in the cargo area, there are 4 cargo tie-down hooks as well if you needed them. But then make your way up to the rear seat legroom. That comes in at 37.3 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I have back there. Make your way to the front seats. You will find a cloth finish if you go with the S or SE trim levels. However, if you go with the SEL or titanium, they will come with a leather finish, and there will be manually adjustable seating with the S or 10-way power adjustable driver's seat if you go with the SE or SEL, and that passenger seat will be power adjustable as well with memory settings for the front seats if you go with the titanium. And then taking a look at the steering wheel, will come tilt and telescoping, and will come leather wrapped for the SEL trim level and up. And there are optional packages to get it on the SE like you're looking at right now, of course, but titanium trim level is going to give you a heated steering wheel as well if you're in a colder climate. But so now let's get to the startup, and let me start by showing you guys the key here. On the one side, you do have your Ford logo, and when you flip it over, lock, unlock that button to pop the rear hatch, and that ×2 button, that is a remote start. And that is one of the new changes for 2019. That keyless entry with remote start and push button start as well will now come standard on the SE and SEL trim levels, where previously in 2018 they did not. So therefore, since I have the SE today, I do have that remote start and a push button start, so that's pretty nice. So all I am going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press the engine start button, which is located just by the driver's right knee there. And so, but then once started up, tachometer is on your left, speedometer is on your right. There is a small little digital display up top there, and you can adjust what is on that digital display by using the steering wheel mounted controls on the left side, but that's going to give you things like your digital speedometer if you wanted it, average miles per gallon, how many miles you have left until you hit empty, and you can check to see when your next oil change is, and a couple other things as well. But now let's check out overall interior quality on this one. And to start with the top trim level, the titanium is going to give you overhead garage door opener. SE trim level and up is actually going to give you dual zone climate control, so both driver and passenger can adjust that. Panoramic moonroof is going to be available if you wanted it, and all trim levels are actually going to give you an overhead sunglass holder as well. But now let's make our way to the tech, because once again we got some new features for 2019. To start, the Sync 3 system, the 8-inch color touchscreen display, will now come standard on the SE and SEL trim levels. That is excellent, because previously you had the standard Sync system, which is a much smaller 4.2-inch display, and that is still going to come standard on the S trim level, but the more updated Sync 3 is now standard on the SE trim level and up. But either way, you will still get Bluetooth and audio streaming, but the Sync 3 system is going to add Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Factory navigation is going to be available on the titanium trim level, and when it comes to the radio settings, the S, SE, and SEL trims are going to give you 6 speakers. However, with the titanium, you will get a 10-speaker Sony system, but since we have the SE, that is not the one we have today. So let's turn on the radio this morning, see what we got playing here, and let's test out this 6-speaker sound system that we have today. Honestly, sound system isn't all that bad for being 6 speakers. There was a good amount of bass actually in that song. Not the most I've ever heard, but still, for a standard 6-speaker sound system, that is doable. But then last thing I wanted to mention on the tech display is when you do put the Escape in reverse, for every single trim level, you will find a rear view camera letting you know who or what is behind you, which is always is going to lead me into safety. And so to start, there are front, side, and side curtain airbags, also up front a driver's knee airbag as well. In the back, you'll find latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats. Also, a tire pressure monitoring system will come standard, and there is also a safe and smart package that is available for the SE trim level and up. That is an option you can go with. But if you go with that, that is going to give you a ton of additional safety, including rain sensing windshield wipers, adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning with brake support, automatic high beams, a blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert. That's usually a big one for people. A lane keeping system, and a windshield wiper de-icer, which is extremely important in places like Pennsylvania where we're at now. It just snowed the other day and I was wishing my SUV had the windshield wiper de-icer. And so, but anyways, that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay gold.